The Galactic Council's archives contained only 3 words about the spiral galaxy humans called the Milky Way. Quarantine zone, forbidden. For 12,000 standard cycles, no species had dared venture beyond the established boundary markers that ringed the galaxy's outer edge. Ancient warnings spoke of a malevolent force that consumed entire civilizations, leaving behind only radiation signatures and debris fields. The few probe ships that had attempted reconnaissance never returned, their final transmissions filled with terror and static. But Commander HFY of the Andromedian Research Collective had built her career on unraveling cosmic mysteries. Standing before the Council's emergency assembly, her forearms gesticulated with practiced authority as bioluminescent patches along her neck pulsed with determination. "Honored Council members," she began, her translated voice carrying across the vast chamber. "Our long-range sensors have detected something unprecedented. The quarantine zone is singing." A ripple of confusion passed through the assembled delegates. The crystalline representative's faceted form chimed discordantly. "Explain this singing, Commander." HFY activated a holographic display showing complex waveform patterns, structured electromagnetic pulses emanating from multiple points within the galaxy. Music, poetry, mathematical sequences, even what appears to be entertainment broadcasts. This isn't the signature of a consuming darkness, it's evidence of a thriving civilization. The ancient Vorthon delegate, whose species had been among those to originally establish the quarantine, raised a gnarled appendage. "Commander, the warnings exist for good reason. That galaxy devoured the Kethmori Empire. The entire Nexian fleet vanished within its borders. With respect, Elder Morthak, those incidents occurred over 10 millennia ago. Perhaps it's time we investigated what truly lies beyond our fears." After heated debate, the Council granted HFY permission for a limited reconnaissance mission. Her ship, the Curiosity's Edge, was equipped with the most advanced sensors and defensive systems the Collective could provide. Her crew of 12 represented the finest xenoarchaeologists, linguists, and warriors from across known space. The journey to the galactic boundary took 47 standard days. As they approached the first marker buoys, ancient constructs broadcasting warnings in 17 dead languages, the ship's sensors began detecting the signals HFY had described. They were stronger now, more complex, seemingly originating from a blue-white star system roughly 26,000 light-years into the galaxy's spiral arm. "Commander," called out her sensor officer, a 6-eyed Valdorian named Crix, "I'm picking up massive energy signatures throughout the galaxy. Not weapons signatures, infrastructure. Billions of artificial constructs, space stations, what might be transport vessels." "And the consuming darkness the archives warned about?" HFY asked. "If it exists, it's not showing up on our scans. I'm detecting complex ecosystem signs on thousands of worlds. This galaxy isn't dead, Commander, it's absolutely teeming with life." They crossed the boundary markers without incident. The Curiosity's Edge had penetrated less than a light-year into the Forbidden Zone when they were intercepted. The ships that surrounded them were unlike anything in the Council databases, sleek vessels with impossible curves that seemed to bend light itself. No weapons were visible, yet HFY's tactical officer reported energy readings that dwarfed their own defensive capabilities. Then came the transmission, broadcast on multiple frequencies in perfect Andromedian standard. "Welcome to the Milky Way, Commander HFY. We've been monitoring your approach. Permission to come aboard?" The being that materialized in their transport bay was bipedal, roughly 2 meters tall with pale skin and an oddly symmetrical face. It moved with confidence despite being clearly outnumbered and outgunned. "I'm Admiral Sarah Chen of the Terran Diplomatic Corps," the creature said, extending one of its 5-digit appendages in what databases identified as a human greeting gesture. "We apologize for the dramatic reception, but your arrival has caused quite a stir. It's been over 12,000 years since anyone from outside our galaxy has visited." HFY's translator struggled with several concepts. "Terran? And what do you mean by our galaxy?" The human's mouth curved upward, a facial expression that somehow conveyed warmth despite showing predatory teeth. "Terran means of Earth, our homeworld. As for the galaxy belonging to us, well, that's a long story. Perhaps we should start with why your people were so afraid to visit." Over the next several hours, Admiral Chen explained the true history of the Milky Way's quarantine. The Kethmori Empire hadn't been consumed by darkness. They had been the darkness. A species of aggressive expansionists who viewed other civilizations as resources to be harvested, they had attempted to use the galaxy as a staging ground for attacks on neighboring systems. They made one crucial error, Chen said, her expression growing serious. They underestimated the locals. The humans, it turned out, had been a young spacefaring species when the Keth Mori arrived. What the invaders had expected to be an easy conquest turned into something unprecedented. The first time in recorded history that a galactic-scale invasion force had been completely annihilated by the species they'd attempted to subjugate. The Nexian fleet? HFY asked. Mercenaries hired by the Keth Mori. They surrendered after witnessing what humans do to those who threaten their friends. Chen's smile turned predatory. Many of their descendants still live here. The Nexians make excellent engineers, it turns out. HFY's crew exchanged glances. Their databases indicated the Nexian fleet had contained over 50,000 warships. But the quarantine, Crix interjected, the warnings about a consuming darkness. Established by us, Chen admitted. After the invasion, humanity realized that our methods might be considered extreme by galactic standards. We thought it best to avoid contact until we'd matured as a species. The warnings were designed to keep others safe while we learned to be better neighbors. And have you? HFY asked quietly. Learned to be better neighbors? Admiral Chen's expression grew thoughtful. We've spent 12 millennia turning a galaxy torn by war into something resembling paradise. We've elevated 17 primitive species to spacefaring status, mediated conflicts between dozens of others, and established trade networks that benefit everyone. We've composed symphonies that span solar systems and built art installations visible from other galaxies. She paused, looking directly at HFY. But if someone threatens our friends, our family, our home, well, some things never change. The human's casual tone while discussing the annihilation of galactic powers should have been terrifying. Instead, HFY found herself oddly reassured. These were beings who had chosen peace but retained the strength to enforce it. So, Chen continued, the question becomes, are you here as friends or as a threat assessment? HFY looked around at her crew, 12 of the finest minds from across known space, all staring at this small biped who had casually redefined their understanding of galactic politics. Friends, she said firmly. Definitely friends. Admiral Chen's smile lit up the room. Wonderful. In that case, welcome to the neighborhood. We have so much to show you. As the Curiosity's Edge was escorted toward the blue-white star system humans called Sol, HFY reflected on the day's revelations. The Milky Way hadn't been quarantined to protect the galaxy from some ancient evil. It had been quarantined to protect the universe from humanity's kindness, and from the terrible things humans would do to anyone who threatened it.